You notice something doesn't fully align anymore, but now you're afraid to move because you don't want to rush into the wrong thing. People think the hardest part is waking up. It's not. The hardest part is what comes after. Once verses start hitting differently, once old answers stop satisfying you, and once questions you used to ignore start coming back, you eventually reach a moment where you realize, I genuinely want truth, but I don't actually know how to move forward from here. Because there's a difference between searching for truth and learning how to walk through it honestly. And if you don't understand this moment correctly, you can spend years circling truth without ever really learning how to engage Scripture for yourself. Many sincere believers think movement means watching more teachings, collecting more perspectives, researching endlessly, or trying to find the right teacher. And because you care about truth, all of that can feel like movement. But eventually you realize collecting information and intentionally engaging Scripture are not always the same thing. You open another video, save another post, highlight another verse, listen to another explanation, and none of those things are bad. But eventually, you have to slow down long enough to ask, what does it actually say? Not what you've always heard, not what fits your current system, and not what immediately feels comfortable. What does it actually say? Before you ask whether a verse fits what you were taught, can you stay with the words on the page long enough to let them speak for themselves? That's the moment many people struggle with. Not because they don't want truth, not because they're lazy, but because honestly engaging Scripture can feel destabilizing at first. You start noticing where assumptions came from, where traditions shaped your thinking, where fear shaped your thinking, and where convenience shaped your thinking. And suddenly this stops being theoretical. It becomes personal. That's why so many people either rush ahead or retreat backward. Some people panic and immediately adopt every new idea they hear. Others return to whatever feels familiar and certain. But Scripture almost never presents walking with Yahweh as understand everything first. It's usually the opposite. Walk honestly, and understanding deepens over time. Not blind movement, not panic movement, and not copying the loudest voice online. Honest movement. Because most people don't lose direction all at once, they drift a little at a time. That's why slowing down matters so much. Not so you stay stuck analyzing forever, but so you stop reacting long enough to actually engage. Because if you rush, you can replace one borrowed system with another borrowed system. And if you never engage Scripture personally, you stay dependent on everyone else to tell you what to think. Both keep people unstable. This is where structure actually becomes helpful. Not controlling structure, and not performance, not checking boxes, just intentional ways to stay engaged instead of drifting. A rhythm for opening the Word, a process for asking better questions, a willingness to keep walking after the emotion fades. That's what most people are actually missing. Not more content, not another emotional moment, not endless information. They need a way to engage Scripture honestly without rushing ahead or shutting down. And that's why I created Awakened. Not to tell you what to think, but to help you slow down, engage Scripture honestly, and begin walking through truth intentionally. Because eventually the question changes from, what am I noticing, to what am I willing to walk through? And that's where transformation actually begins. Because once you begin walking intentionally, you start realizing something else. Yahweh doesn't just awaken people. He leads them, shapes them, teaches them how to hear Him clearly. And that process changes everything. Not all at once, but step by step. And that's where we're going to keep walking through.